Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:02 on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you very much for being here. If you're listening on TuneIn Radio or iHeartRadio or over at edmontonsportstalk.com on the audio player there. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much for being here today. Edmonton Sports Talk presented to you by our partners over at Play Alberta, as is the Lock Shop. Obviously, our codes have been reloaded for the month of September. Deposit 50 with EST Sports and get $50 free bet. Deposit 50 with YEG50 and get a $50 free bet as well. And Play Alberta, they're pretty excited right now as they've got improved odds for all major North American leagues this year, including NFL. So you get some better numbers on the NFL, which of course is just around the corner. Lots of usability improvements on the sports book as well, with easier access to find promotions. And it's all more convenient than ever with the new and improved Play Alberta app. Okay, so I'm scared right now. I'm looking at Twitter, you know, like that what's happening type of thing.
Yep.
I see Matthew Golden is trending.
Oh.
And I drafted him last night. I'm going to click on this, and it could be like Matthew Golden, great pick moving in, or it could be Matthew Golden, like torn ACL.
For the year.
Let's, I'll give you my instant reaction here. Let's see what's going on with Matthew Golden. Well, not bad. Jordan Love. I thought there'd be something. There's like nothing of. Jordan Love says rookie wide receiver Matthew Golden is the perfect guy to have a breakout year. He's going to be a guy we're trying to get the ball to as much as possible. I love to hear it.
Huh.
Is there anything else?
That's it?
No, it looks like just a bunch of good fantasy buzz around a value pick.
And you're laughing.
I'm good then.
Yeah.
I'm good. I was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried when I saw that. Big Maple. I'll try to, have Big Uke text me and I'll pop into the DJ and Den at some point. And I believe an AMA is Ask Me Anything. So I'm always open to that. That should be good. Man, I was really worried that Matthew Golden was hurt.
Oh, God. That's like my biggest fear is like just waking up to like your guy being...
Like even before the season.
Before the year. You can't even get points from him.
Right after the draft, before the season, one of your guys goes down.
Yeah. Brutal.
Oh, shoot me in the head. Brutal. Like that would be tough. We'll dive into that Superflex draft I had last night when Huss hops on here. Let's take a look at what we got right now for you on our EST specials page. We've still got that big one sitting there at plus 2450. Ravens to win the AFC North, Atlanta to win the NFC South, Chiefs to win the AFC West, and then the Lions to win the NFC North. That's plus 2450. Lock Shop Partner Parlay. We put this together last week. Jaden Daniels over 645.5 yards rushing, and then Tet McMillan over 825.5 receiving. Lock Shop Partner Parlay, the boys put together yesterday. Lions -4, Alouettes plus 4.5, Stamps -6.5, plus 562. And then we put this together on the Nielsen Show this morning on 95.7 Cruise FM and on TuneIn and on iHeart and on YouTube. It's the early bird bet of the day. Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown, and a Dak Prescott interception. Love to see it. Barkley, anytime TD, Dak interception is plus 152. Once again, use the code EST Sports, deposit 50, and get a $50 free bet. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for the Lock Shop. We would appreciate that. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, you can text us at 780-218-9999. And please tell your friends how easy it is. With the NFL season around, this is peak Lock Shop time from a fantasy and a betting perspective. So yeah, I think if you have buddies who like betting on football specifically, they'll love the Lock Shop every single day from 11 until noon. All right, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Huss, I missed you. I wish I was on yesterday. I took the kids to school and then I was doing some work. But just to recap Labor Day weekend, I mean, two of those games were insane. Then I got a dud. I was totally pissed off that I wasn't calling one of the other two games. But those are two phenomenal finishes to start the week, man. What a league.
Oh my God. I mean, I won't go through it all, but I had a good chat with Iwanek yesterday. The scene in Regina, dude, and you've been there before.
It looked incredible.
Like, dude, Labor Day is so back, like post-pandemic. There was legit twice as many Bomber fans in Regina this year as there was last year. And last year there was a pretty good turnout. The way, I don't know if you saw the pictures, like that Wayne's World party where we take over that guy's yard, like it spilled well over into the lane.
It looked amazing.
It was awesome. And you know what was cool? The Rider fans, like there was no BS. I mean, it was just a really, really fun weekend, which it always is. But they were really thankful to Bomber fans for coming out there. I mean, they say you guys sort of make this what it is. And it was awesome. And my God, dude, the game, I mean, Hammer and I just did CFL 110. Oh, I see I've got my name tag on here.
I was gonna ask you, why are you wearing an Andrew Paterson name tag right now? We know who you are, us. Where was that from? What were you doing?
I just came back from the Health Sciences Center Foundation Millionaire Lottery kickoff.
Was it a fantasy draft?
Well, fantasy draft, yeah. You pick a $1 million home in one of 6 different places if you win.
Oh boy! Or
like $1.2 million or something like that. So it was.
Should have left the name tag on for the whole show.
But anyways, like the game itself was amazing. I mean, lots of questions. I mean, the Bombers had no business at all being in that game late. I mean, that fumble on the punt return.
Yeah.
Combined with that PI, I mean, it just let the Bombers right back in. But, oh, my God, are people pissed off about that call on the 2-point convert? I mean, it is so easily telegraphed. You saw it coming, and, that's not a great throw for Zach this year.
No, and it's not a guy you want to attack either in that spot, man. Campbell makes plays.
No, but as Rod said, the pick, too. Definitely one of the more wild gambling moments of the entire CFL season. Now, I mean, luckily for the parlay that Hammer and I put together, it was Bombers plus 4.5. If you bet them earlier in the week, it was 5.5 or 5. But that game closed at 4, Dusty. And the Bombers went from being down 14 to down 7, down 8. They get the touchdown, so you're thinking, okay, no matter what, we're good. The Bombers, the pick 2 turned a 2-point lead into a 4-point lead.
I love that.
And ended up being a push if you had Sask -4 or a push if you had Winnipeg +4. So hopefully if you were on the Bombers, you got the hook, because otherwise, I mean, although anyone with Winnipeg +4 walked out of there after getting a push on it, even with the pick 2, going, oh, listen, I guess I can't complain, because that game was over. That game was over with 4 minutes left, and then it wasn't. And the CFL, and my God, dude, the Hamilton game, I don't know where, because I guess you would have been prepping and getting ready for that game.
We were in the booth, and we were going over some final prep stuff. And they before we do a game, we'll go through all the boards that you would see pop up, and we kind of go over them so we know what would be coming and watch any clips and any of the packs that we're going to be running. But while we were doing that, I said, guys, you got to put this on the smaller monitor. I said, I need this game on the big monitor. So I was sitting there trying to watch that, but we were watching it go down. And it's so funny because in the Canadian Football League, Bo Levi throws that touchdown with 14 seconds left. And I said to Dwayne, I said, too much time. And it's just, I mean, to take advantage of it. I don't know what Brissett was doing. We're in the booth yelling. We're like, get down. What are you trying to do right now? And he got lucky. He got lucky that he stepped out where he did, man, or that would have been an all-time fumble.
Did you call that Bomber Lions game a couple of years ago where Rhymes caught that ball late and Cramdy didn't tackle him at that moment. He busted it for like another 15, 20 yards, but the time expired.
I did do that game. I did do that game. I remember that game.
Very, very similar to that had happened. But it was a while. I see Duck Dad slightly disappointed this didn't turn into another story about a random swingers meeting. Yeah, I mean, there were some people having some fun on the trip. I will tell you that.
Man, Eric had fun. So we took 2 buses down to Calgary. Like we teamed up with the Elks and did 2 like EST fan buses. So like over 100 people. Looks like a great time. Eric lost his voice. He hasn't been able to talk for like 2 days. Like he sounds the roughest. I've worked with the dude for, I don't know, 13 years now. I've never heard his voice this bad. And it was great though. Like the Elks fans kind of had a section buried in the top corner of McMahon, but loud. It was like, yeah, 6. Oh, you saw, 6-7 rows deep. Big Uke had his shirt undone. He became known as supersized Indiana Jones. And it was a great time.
Well, it's funny you say that. I said to it because we were traveling back from Regina, and shout out to my guy, Carter Chen. Eric's actually a big fan of his work at Ritz Kraka on Instagram.
He still randomly on the morning show mentions, what's Huss doing? Is he hanging out with Ritz Kraka?
LTE would have loved the content from the Labor Day weekend because it was the Huss bus with Captain Carter, and he was an incredible captain because he is one of these guys that's locked down on every form of media, and he's got a nice big Google Pixel phone or whatever, multiple different tripods that can clip onto anything. So he cranked up the phone on the front thing on a bracket, put it up so we could all see, took the feed from the game in through a Bluetooth speaker. So we had awesome sound and we watched the entire Montreal or Toronto Hamilton game and then got into the Elks first half. But I bring that up because when they showed the first glimpse of the Elks fans, I knew that would be you guys. The first thing that you could see, even watching on a phone from distance, was Big U. I mean,
he's not blend into a crowd, Uke. Yeah, what a beauty. And they had a good time. Like the bus ride home was fun. They were still selling booze on the bus ride home, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Maybe
Eric made a couple purchases.
Maybe he did. He says it was the sun. Being in the sun, on that side.
That's what did it to his voice?
Yeah, I think it was the sun that kind of did it to his voice. Anyway,
I've often been out in the sun for too long and then lost my voice. That is honestly the most preposterous alibi.
Yeah. He said that today. I said, how you doing? He goes, I'm starting to think it was the sun. There's a lot of heat. I said, yeah, okay, sure. Hey, that's fine. Quickly, just one more in the CFL, and then I ran into an interesting fantasy football thing last night. But
love it.
So yesterday I wasn't on. I saw you guys put together a parlay, and they had the Elks at 6.5. Was that the Stamps minus 6.5? Was that the line yesterday? Because it's 5.5 now. I'm just curious if it's moving in direction of Edmonton, which doesn't make sense to me. Or did you guys move it a point?
That's a good question. No, I'm pretty sure it was 6.5.
Yeah, because I don't think you move it from 5.5 to 6.5. That doesn't make sense. And you just take it to 7 or 7.5.
I'm seeing elsewhere it's at 6. So to me, I think sort of 6 is that. I mean, sometimes I guess it'd be interesting to track the Play Alberta number for like Elks Stamps.
For the Elks and Stamps, 100%. Yeah. And then the Bombers in Winnipeg.
They're both Alberta teams. It's not like, one team would have the general support but I mean, probably more people getting on that game there than other places. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of like Calgary, anything under a touchdown.
Under a touchdown, I think you got to be on Calgary. Now, Edmonton hung around until the punt return, and their defense played well, but then eventually kind of broke. But
I just think, you heard from Vernon Adams after the game. He kind of thought that was not a particularly great offensive performance, and I sort of agree. Credit to the Elks. Listen, the Elks defense, and we talked about this, it's trending so much better. They gave up, 21 points. Obviously there's that the minute that punt went to the end zone, I'm like, well, there's no way we're getting this over in this game, because, if anything, the Elks needed to have that one go their way to have a close game, but when it goes the other way, it wasn't good. So, yeah, I don't know. Hammer and I mean, as I said, the CFL 110 is going to debut a little later on. I think I do like the Tiger Cats, even though short week turnaround for them, Montreal coming off the bye. If it's not Davis Alexander, I just don't know whether they're going to be able to score enough points to keep up with it.
You're going to have to score some points to keep up with Hamilton.
It's a huge game for Hamilton too. I mean, if all of a sudden they lose this game, they're sitting at 6-6.
Yeah, which would be a loss, 6 wins in a row, and then 5 losses in a row. So that's a weird start to the season.
Here's for a couple anomalies. By the way, the Argos, my friend, are very much back in the game here. This Arbuckle story is incredible with what he's doing right now. And I know there's talk about Chad Kelly coming back. You'd have to be insane.
I would literally piss my pants on a broadcast if they decided to put Arbuckle back on the bench for Chad Kelly. How?
No.
How? I feel so good for Nick Arbuckle because he's basically been a journeyman his entire career. And then we know what happened last year. Sorry to anybody in Winnipeg who's watching. But this is still totally unexpected. This is an all-time great story here.
He was going to retire. He was going to be done. And then he got the opportunity in the Grey Cup, played well enough. They gave him another year, but that was going to be it. I remember him talking in the press conference after they won the Grey Cup last year. He said he wasn't sure what he was going to do moving forward. And it's amazing. But the Argos, who I think were 60-1 2 weeks ago, when they were at 2-8, these 2 wins, all of a sudden with what's going on in the East, they're at 15. And to me, that's a very scary and a very dangerous team going down the stretch. But there was some weird movement. Calgary, I'm seeing, is now the favorite for the Grey Cup at plus 225. Hamilton's gone back to plus 315. The Riders are 335. Montreal's 5-1. Again, that's still East and waiting for Davis Alexander to get back. The Bombers number actually got shorter. I'm not sure whether people think, well, they played so well and it was so close with Saskatchewan that maybe they're really in there. But the Bombers went from 1350 to 10-1 on a loss. And last week, BC was 1150. They're now back to 14-1. But I brought this up just because of how much the Argo number had cratered. This Toronto team has actually, they've thrown away a couple games that they really should have won. You think about the Sask game early on in the year, hell, the Winnipeg game here. Yeah. They somehow managed to give up 2 return touchdowns in a game and a defensive touchdown, and we're still right there with it. So the Argos are on the bye this week, but coming back, there's still 6 games left in the schedule. They're 4-8. I could absolutely see them getting to 8-10, potentially even 9-9. And I'll tell you what, if the playoffs started right now and you had,
would you take the Argos in the East?
I think I might do it. I think I might do it.
You look at it, when healthy, they brought back Polk. Herslow's emerged with an opportunity. He's got touchdowns in 4 straight. Yeah. Brissett is top 10 in the league in receiving. I love Mital. And then when they get Coxie back, that's a really good receiving core for a quarterback who just absolutely slings it. So, yeah, it's interesting. And maybe Toronto does put together a second half run here. And you are right. They did blow some games in the first half that they definitely should have had. Anything else in the CFL, Huss?
No, but just before we get to NFL and stuff, did you buckle up for that roller coaster of a Jays game yesterday?
I was trying to follow along with it throughout the game, but I did not settle in. I had a big Superflex draft last night, and I was busy with the kids in the afternoon. So no, I did not. I saw people bitching about the bullpen, but
yeah. Well, listen, it wasn't just the bullpen.
No, it wasn't just the pen last night. Yeah,
and Barrios. I'm not sure. That hotshot guy that they have in AAA that is just rolling, I think they might call him up. I mean, I have a feeling it might be at the expense of Barrios' spot in the rotation. But anyways, I think we got Bieber tonight. Is that right?
It is Bieber tonight. I think I saw Rod Z trend kicking around over on the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Here we are. Rod Z. The average score of these games was Bieber's team. Wait, he's got more on Bieber. Here we are. Bet on Shane Bieber in road starts on the run line versus an NL team with a batting average of 250 or worse. Bieber's team record is 8-0 career in those games. The average score of these games was Bieber's team 5.5, opponents 2. And yeah, Mark A says Jays over 5.5 is what he like. We could put together a little something on the Jays here. Let's do that. Why not, eh? Ride with Bieber.
Yeah, ride with Bieber. Jays on the run line. I just got in at even money. I like that. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Bo is just, I mean, absolutely crushing right now. What do we have for total bases? We got the Bo Bichette number. Like what was last week? Like usually like minus 103. Now minus 133 for Bo. The way that he's pumping it right now.
But I mean, justified, right? With the way he's playing, it's
yeah. Is there a roster out yet?
I have not seen it yet. Let's take a quick peek.
The lineup.
Somebody let us know if they've announced the lineup today.
Pulling it up right here. The return, Shane Biebs. No, we don't have the official starting lineup. No. So at that point, I think you got to just really rely on the regulars. Bo, do we like Vlad?
Let's go Jay's run line and Bo over 1.5 total bases.
Definitely.
Let's just do that. Anything else? Yeah, I don't know. Do you have something else in there? I mean, let's start there.
What about how about also let's get Bieber over 5.5 strikeouts.
Okay, Bieber over 5.5 strikeouts and Bichette over 1.5 total bases. All right, that's been sent off. You guys can watch for it on the EST specials page over there at Play Alberta. So, Huss, are you done your drafting now?
Nope. No, Jamie Thomas's draft is tonight.
I don't even know if I want to talk about that league.
That's the one that's again?
No, I'm not. No, I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I got booted out because I'm not a local. Even though he not once asked me if I'd fly out for it. You know, I feel like before you kick somebody out of a league because they're the one out of town guy, I think you should at least say, hey, you can stay in it if you'll fly out. I haven't been to Winnipeg in a while. I could go for some tendies, some honey dill.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed in JT, but whatever. We'll see. Is that that was a keeper league, right?
Yep. That is.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do we got here? Yeah, that's the one that we do on Sleeper.
I like Sleeper. Sleeper's a good app.
It is. And you like, so that's the league where you can keep a player for a pick 1 round higher.
Yeah.
Than the year before. So I have the 6th pick in the draft. And so I'll ask you this: 6th pick in the draft.
Okay.
And I have Justin Jefferson.
All right.
So if I want to keep Justin Jefferson, it's going to cost me 6th overall.
Oh, you guys haven't set this yet? You have to set it tonight type of thing?
No, I did set it.
Oh, you did set it. Okay, all right. Yeah,
I am going to keep him. I just figured if you were going to tell me that I would get Justin Jefferson at 6, I think I would take that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's where he's going in full redraft leagues. This is a keeper league. So I like that. I like that decision.
Next year, I won't be able to keep him. But the my keepers, I'm using a 1st round pick on Justin Jefferson. I'm using an 8th round pick on JSN. and I'm using a 13th round pick on Bucky Irving. It's like I had a couple good late guys.
That's good then. Yeah. I remember you telling me the Bucky Irving thing. I had a draft go ahead.
Yeah, that draft last night, the Superflex.
Yeah, this was the big
QB early.
Well, so this was the big boy. It's our biggest entry fee, and we take it pretty seriously. So I'm not like, you know me, I'm not exaggerating. I've probably done 100 Superflex mock drafts out of the 3 spot just to see how it would play out.
No keepers?
No keepers. Redraft, Superflex. So I figured it would go Josh Allen, Lamar, and it did. So I decided to load up. I was like, I'm all in with my guy, Jaden Daniels at 3. Jalen Hurts went 4. Joe Burrow went 5. And that's pretty much all my mocks had gone. I was like, okay, now you're going to see Chase sprinkled in here. Bijan will go, CeeDee Lamb, and then Mahomes usually goes late first, and Baker goes late first, and then Kyler and Bo Nix in the seconds and stuff. And so I've been getting a lot of really good receivers and running backs coming back to me at the 21st pick, right? Like 210.
Sure.
And so I'm sitting there, I'm watching this board sort of develop, and there's no other quarterbacks going. Like the guys from 6 to 12 did not take quarterbacks all the way down and all the way back. So I'm sitting there. The guy who had Burrow took Baker. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, well, Patrick Mahomes is ranked 7th on Superflex rankings. I took Patrick Mahomes with my 2nd round pick, and I've got Jaden Daniels and Patrick Mahomes in my 2 quarterback spots.
You're so set.
I mean, I couldn't pass on him. I was like, this guy should have gone 10 picks ago. I have to take him in this spot. So here's how the rest of the team worked out. I guess what I was going to say is I've done 100 mocks. Not one time did I mock quarterback. So I didn't even know how it would remotely play out because I was like, every time I do a mock, the quarterbacks that would be there when it came back around to me, I was like, oh, I'd rather take CJ Stroud 2 rounds from now or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So here's how it ended up going. So I went Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes. Then it goes back down. Derrick Henry went, Brock Bowers went, Josh Jacobs went. Then Purdy went to the guy who had Lamar. I got Brian Thomas Jr. in the 3rd round as my wide receiver 1, which when you have 2 quarterbacks to get that guy, I was like, okay. So then it went back down, came all the way back down to me at 5 or at 410. And I got T. Higgins. So I've got Higgins and Brian Thomas. And then I was like, damn, I gotta get into the running back game. So I got Omarion Hampton in the 5th round as my running back. And then it came all the way back around and Chuba was still there. So I got Chuba Hubbard. And then I went on a wide receiver run because Devontae Smith was still there in the 7th round. So I went him, and then I got Matthew Golden, and then I took Stephon Diggs. And then I just threw darts at running backs after that. Braylon Allen, J.K. Dobbins, Ollie Gordon, Vishal Tootin, and then everybody else had tight end. So I just waited. And I'm going to have to stream tight end, but I did draft Kyle Pitts. And I'm like, this is the Penix Pitts connection. They golfed together in the offseason. Apparently had a good camp, but there's a few other tight ends that I could stream. So, I was a little worried because I wasn't prepped to start quarterback. But I have to say, man, I actually don't mind the way my team came together. And if any of those guys, like if Ollie Gordon or Braylon Allen takes over, then I think I'm in a pretty good spot.
What happened to like teams 6 through 10?
Okay. It's a good question.
What was their quarterback situation after passing up and just taking top position players?
Okay.
Early?
So the guy who drafted 6th went with Jamar Chase and 7th went with CeeDee Lamb. Their quarterback situations ended up being Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott. The one guy took Kyler in the 3rd round and then waited and got stuck with Russell Wilson. The other guy took Dak in the 3rd round and actually got Penix in like the 9th round. So he's Dak and Penix. The other guy's Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. The guy in 7th ended up with Herbert, Tua, and Stafford. So, I mean, I have an advantage at quarterback. And if a guy like Matt Golden or Devontae Smith. Smith's usually pretty good when he's healthy. If one of those guys hits pretty well, I think I might be okay. But to have Mahomes and Daniels, I couldn't take Derrick Henry instead of Patrick Mahomes there. I was like, I got to go Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no, a great choice. I'm in a league, a 10-team league, and this is the one I did last night with some buddies. I took over a team for someone that had moved or whatever, but because it's 10 teams, they do a bigger roster. You're starting 2 QBs, like not super flex, 2 QBs, no matter what.
Okay.
2 QBs, 3 wideouts, 2 running backs, tight end, flex, and it's an auction. The only keeper, you could keep 4 keepers and a rookie. I was taking over a team. There was no one really worth keeping, with the exception of Jamar Chase, which was like 25% of my budget. And then a bunch of the quarterbacks have been kept before. And the sort of key in this one is if you can get some good rookies or people on good deals, you can keep them next year and they only go up 10%. So, getting some good lower guys. But I ended up getting James Cook for $23, which was kind of nice. I got a good deal on Herbert at $12. I could have kept him for 22.
Oh, there you go.
When you look at other quarterbacks who are sort of going into the 20s, I was a little surprised. But the thing is, I got a bunch of good deals because I had a lot of money. So like I had Calvin Ridley, I got Tony Pollard, who I really wanted to, and I didn't spend as much as I thought I would have to. My issue was I had a bunch of money. I didn't have a ton of roster spots, but I needed help on the quarterback position because I already had Herbert and I'd gone with some other guys. So I ended up having enough money to get the last 2 guys that were available, Bryce Young and Michael Penix Jr. So, I mean, I'm going to go 2 of 3 every week between those guys. I think they'll be serviceable. And then I did put $5 on Jackson Dart because if he does end up being the starter, like for next year, he's a guy that runs a lot. I mean, he was the number 2 running quarterback in college football. And we know how important, listen, Justin Fields is getting drafted in the leagues. It's not because of his throwing ability. It's because of his feet. So I am sort of keen on him to see what happens in that. You
know what? It's funny you bring up Dart because last night, everybody had already taken like 3 quarterbacks. I had Mahomes and Daniels, and I was like, man, I'm not going to start anybody here. But I did with my last pick take Jackson Dart because he had a really good preseason. I mean, if he gets an opportunity, I think from a fantasy perspective, if one of my guys goes down and he happens to be the starter by then, I thought it was an okay pick right with my last pick, 16th round.
For sure.
12 guys.
Listen, so. By week 6, week 7,
they used a first round pick on this guy. So
like I'd love one of the books to put up a prop on this. Like over under 6.5 weeks into the season. Does Jackson Dart start?
I don't think it's crazy. I mean, Dable likes him. I think that goes a long way.
Reason.
Yeah. No, I was actually, there was some court like Anthony Richardson had been drafted, and I was like, man, I think Dart's a much better play here. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have one more online draft tonight. That's for a dynasty league in which we keep 18 dudes. So those drafts usually go pretty quick. It's mostly just the rookies. And then tonight, you'll be proud of this. I know I'm proud of it. Marshall Keith Nielsen makes his fantasy football drafting debut. 8-team league with other kids. One of our listeners started it. He's like, hey, does Marsh want in on this kids league? I was just, so Marshall's been mocking. He's ready to go. I haven't told him yet. But the commish, the listener who's running this league, did a randomizer. Marshall's been mocking out of the 1 spot. He gets the 8th pick. So he's going to be rattled after school today. But I got to tell him, you have to learn from this. You have to refocus, and you have to be ready to go.
Assume the first pick.
What's that?
You can't just assume the first pick.
Yeah, well, he always sort of just does. He's just like, I'll just have first. I was like, it doesn't work like that. So he's going to pick 8th tonight. It's only an 8-team draft. So we'll see what his strategy is. He does love getting Josh Allen and Brock Bowers. And I don't think that's out of the question in just an 8-team league at 8. You could probably go quarterback, tight end if he wanted, and then just load up on receivers and running backs after that.
Is it
PPR.
just a standard?
It's just
regular league?
What's that?
It's just like it's
Standard
not two
QB. Yeah, it's just one QB.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
probably don't want to take Josh Allen that early. You could probably get.
Well, see, but I don't mind it because I
How
think
many teams?
well, it's only 8. If it was but in an 18 league, I mean, if you get one of the elite quarterbacks and one of the elite tight ends, there's still going to be so many good receivers and running backs left, right?
Something to be said for that.
It's an interesting strategy.
But I mean, think of who you're going to be passing on. If you go Bowers, Allen at 8, 9.
Yeah. Yeah, you're passing on probably Nico Collins at least. I mean, depending on how it goes. I mean, I'll say this. I'd rather take those two guys in like A-Chain and Genty. I think I'd rather take those guys.
I'm out on A-Chan. I'm out on A-Chan. I don't want any part of the Miami Dolphins offense.
I avoided it all except for Ollie Gordon late last night. I wasn't going to say, I just forgot Marshall has swimming lessons tonight. So I'm going to love when he comes home and goes, I'm not going to swimming lessons. I have my draft.
I've got my draft.
Makes sense. Priorities. Priorities.
By the way, you just said Marshall Bo Keith. Is that his middle name is Bo Keith?
Yeah, well,
is that Bo and Keith?
It's two names.
Separate?
Same as me. It's my same thing. So I'm Dustin Bo, like Beau, and then Keith. And he's Marshall Bo Keith.
And those are set like two middle
two
names.
Separate. Yeah, I got two middle names.
Okay, I got you.
Although, you know what? It doesn't make sense. The Bo, I've never asked my parents this, but like the Beau is French, and we have no French background in our family. So I don't know where the Bo comes from. But yeah, so he's got the same name. He loves it. I love it. It's fun. Okay, so
the same middle name as my old man.
Yeah, there you go. All right, you gotta pass. And then my Elizabeth is named after two of my grandmas, and then her middle names are my sister and Tam's sister. One of my sisters, and yeah, so it's like all family names. You want to stick with NFL, or do you want to get to this Kawhi story? You see this Kawhi story today?
Okay.
Please tell me you haven't, because I would love to tell you about it.
All I saw was a tweet that came out from Pablo Torres.
Yeah.
Who is Big J of the year, by the way. Like, we often joke about journalism and where everything is. Like, the work that this guy has done, he really is like he'll be the first one to tell you, Peabody Award winner. But basically, I glanced at it quickly. Like, Kawhi had some sort of scam deal with Steve Ballmer.
Yeah. So this is what is being reported. Okay. Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement deal for a no-show job with a fraudulent tree planting company that was funded by $50 million by Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. So Ballmer funded a fraudulent tree planting company for $40 million. And Kawhi was an employee and got $28 million to circumvent the cap. And the whole thing is hilarious, considering they used a fraudulent tree planting company to try to cover this up. And none of it really makes sense. When I first saw it this morning, I thought, okay, this is like some sort of AI make-believe funny thing that's been going around. But by all accounts, apparently Kawhi got $28 million for an endorsement deal with a fraudulent tree planting company. And now we'll see. What do you think happens here? What do you think happens to Ballmer and Kawhi in this story?
Well, Kawhi, I mean, I'm not sure that Kawhi, maybe he'll get suspended for some time. Ballmer
he usually takes 30 games off a year anyway, so he'd probably like that.
Yeah, great point. Okay, under the circumvention rules of the CBA, teams can be punished for circumventing the league cap. Fines up to $7.5 million, direct forfeiture of draft picks, voiding any player contract. That's interesting, and a suspension up to a year for team personnel found to have engaged in such a violation. You remember in 2000, the Minnesota Timberwolves had that illegal agreement with Joe Smith. They promised to pay him a multi-million-dollar deal if he signed with the team on a shorter contract for less money. The NBA, the penalty for the T-Wolves was removing 5 first-round picks.
Whoa.
5 first-round picks the T-Wolves lost. They fined the team $3.5 million. This is in 2000, so think of inflation. And banning head coach Kevin McHale and owner Glenn Taylor for a season. And they voided the contract for Smith.
Holy smokes.
So this is actually, man, the more I'm thinking about it.
This is big news, man.
And a big-time player. It'd be funny if he was all of a sudden a free agent.
Contract gets voided. Kawhi becomes a free agent, has ridiculous demands somewhere else.
When here's the other thing about that, because they're for sure going to get clipped.
Oh yeah,
the pun of draft picks. However, because of Kawhi, they needed to get Paul George, and they traded all their picks to OKC. So, I don't think that the NBA would ban them and take away picks that they already traded.
No, they wouldn't do that. But
so you've got to look down the road, and essentially, the Clippers are going to need to, I'm not sure whether it's just 5 first-round picks that they have to forego, so that anytime they have a first-round pick, they don't get it. It's just not done. Maybe they could acquire first-round picks to not use and pay in. I'm really not sure how that happens, but they did. The Clippers also got fined $50,000 in May for violating the tampering rules after Doc Rivers made public remarks comparing Leonard to Michael Jordan. And of course, he was with the Raptors at the time. So this actually is a massive, massive story. Once again, shout out Pablo Torre.
The rookie texts in and says, shouldn't Kawhi also be penalized for agreeing to this bad deal, like a year suspension or something? I mean, they'll have to be Kawhi doesn't get away scot-free from this. I mean, there'll have to be some punishment on his end as well, I would think. But
I mean, well, the punishment may be in the form of that $40 million or whatever that you were on
that's remaining. Yeah,
that's actually, you're not getting that anymore.
I love Zulu over on the chat on YouTube. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, tell your friends how easy it is to stream EST all day long. If you're watching over on YouTube, smash the thumbs up for us. Zulu says Kawhi Leonard is the laziest player in NBA history. And you know what's funny, Huss, is that the job that he supposedly had, tree planting, is like something that not lazy people can do. Tree planters are some of the hardest working dudes of all time. And Kawhi, come on. I mean, there's no chance. You couldn't tree plant for a day. My God.
So Kawhi, how's your
Not saying that we could, but I'm just saying,
just out here planting trees. I think he's the ultimate flatliner. You don't think he'd be a good tree planter, is I guess safe to say.
This is a good one. Waddy in Cloverdale on the text line at 780-218-9999 says, the punishment for Kawhi, he can't play until he plants $28 million worth of trees. That's hilarious. Oh, Waddy in Cloverdale. Well done, sir. Well done. That's funny.
Tyson Ducharme. Funny, it's a no-show job when he already does that in the NBA.
It's a great content piece. We're probably going to serve. It broke late in our show this morning, which was on 95.7 Cruise FM. But we'll probably circle back around to it tomorrow, man. That's a tough one. I wonder if Kawhi would ask Paul George to come plant trees with him. I need PG as well.
Yeah, that trade didn't work out. I saw a really interesting interview the other day with Ty Lue. That was who was with the Clippers at the time. They didn't get into this scam deal that they did with Kawhi, but they just talked about the desperation to get it done with Kawhi, and they needed to get PG done. So like they were trading from a position. I mean, Sam Presti bent him over and they did it, but he said they would do it again, because Pierce that year, I think, was second or third runner up for MVP. And obviously Kawhi just won a championship. So they really felt like they were setting up the best 1-2 punch in the NBA. And he said, listen, we loved Shea, but we never saw him turning into this. And, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback that, but one of the more infamous trades.
Tough look. Let's get to this. Lock Shop is about sports betting, and it's also about fantasy. Aid O'Neill says, guys, Ricky Pearsall or Marvin Harrison in a half PPR league. You got offered the trade.
Who?
Ricky Pearsall or Marvin Harrison, half PPR.
I'm higher on Pearsall right now than.
I think Pearsall's got that momentum around like the fantasy world right now. I know Harrison's still getting drafted higher than him in most places. I don't know. What do you think? Harrison was a bit of a fantasy bust last year, and overall a bust in general. But do you think it's a half PPR? Do you think Harrison has? Do you think he lives up to some of that potential that he was coming out with?
You know what? Okay, if his name was Fred Jones instead of Marvin Harrison Jr.
A Nepo baby. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Well, I mean, I certainly think that the expectations and everything for him were through the roof because of who he is. I don't know if you caught his off season. He put on like 10 or 15 pounds of muscle. Usually you want guys to get faster.
Yeah, I would say this, though. I think that might be good for his game because I thought physically he got dominated by DBs last year. So that must have been team driven. Look, Aiden says he's leaning towards keeping Pearsall. I think I probably would give the edge to Ricky Pearsall here, but I'm just curious if Harrison makes us eat our words at some point.
I think we're a lot hornier for Pearsall just because, and let's keep in mind, a big part of the Pearsall hype was the fact that Juwan Jennings was hurt or holding out or whatever. Well, guess what? He's back at practice just in time to play in the season right now.
CMC's healthy. Still have Kittle.
We did lose Debo, so there's going to be more opportunity. I'm just pulling out my, and these are just, half point PPR 2025 season projections, shutout fantasy points. They've got Marvin Harrison Jr. projected as the 21st receiver, 175 points. And Pearsall is in at 35 at 149. So the thing about it, you've got CMC. Kittle's going to be a big part of that. Like, now that I think about it, Harrison is probably the pick.
That's why he's still getting drafted a little bit higher, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, they have him right in between two guys that I love that I think are going to be big time this year: Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley.
Hey, let's get to this one from Penner's Pancakes, then we'll let you go get ready for WST. He's pointing out Bruce Boudreau was on our show this morning, and he said that Cena's attitude adjustment is a horrible finisher, which Penner's Pancake says he totally agrees with. What are your thoughts on the attitude adjustment, Huss?
The AA.
Bruce Boudreau went off today on Cena. He goes, and people are calling Cena the GOAT. There's no way Cena's the GOAT. And then he went off on Hulk Hogan. He's like, Hulk Hogan's the GOAT. And then he goes, and Cena's attitude adjustment, it's just the worst finishing move of all time. Like, Bruce was fired. He basically you got to go watch it. Bruce Boudreau cut a promo against Cena today.
Bruce Boudreau disrespecting John Cena?
Yeah. It happened.
Wow, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. I would have thought, he might be still mad about the quick heel turn that happened.
He didn't
earlier.
like how the heel turn was played out. He definitely didn't like that.
It didn't work. I don't know why they did that in the first place, to be honest with you. But you know what? I respect Bruce's opinion. He's a big Kevin Owens guy, as we all know. But I will ride with John Cena as the GOAT. So maybe Bruce and I have beef right now.
Man, you got Cena as the greatest of all time. We'll save that for another lock shop. That seems pretty high to me. I'm a Stone Cold Steve Austin guy.
Yeah, too short. It's like saying...
Cena, the longevity, yeah.
What he's done it all.
What's coming up on WST, buddy?
Well, we're actually going to get into some hockey talk. Pagnata's going to jump on and talk about this new CBA and just kind of scuttlebutt coming in. They were over in Europe for the player things, so we'll catch up with him. And our pal Murata Tesh of the Athletics, been away all summer. He's back, so we'll get into that. Tony Jones of the Bombers is going to jump on today. We will do a little more fantasy. We got a guy from Fantasy Points that lives in the Peg, big WST guy. So
yeah, I want to get this guy on sometime. That's awesome.
Lean on him.
Yeah.
You can follow him. El Nostra Thomas.
What a name.
El Nostra Thomas Triple on X. And that Fantasy Point's a great site as well. If you I think they gave us a thing. I think if you're looking to get a package for the season.
Yeah.
If you use the promo code WST, I think you get 10% off. So
all right. Well, there we go.
If people are looking at fantasypoints.com. So yeah, going to do that. Do our picks for tonight. Take a look at the lines. Now, are you away for the next 2 days again?
No. Well, I am tomorrow. I'm hosting the Elks alumni golf tournament tomorrow. So I'm doing the morning show and then I'm gone for the rest of the day. Wanik's going to be in. He said you guys will set up Thursday night football and he'll do some CFL picks. Excuse me. And then Friday I'll be back though. Friday for a full NFL show. So yeah, I will be here on Friday, buddy. So you guys have a good show tomorrow, okay?
I will be locked and loaded. Just a quick note, and let's just see whether we're still at. I know we can put in our favorite picks in on Friday.
Yeah.
But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games of this week's 16-game NFL slate. 3 points or less for the line. And one game is at 3, or one game is at 3.5, which is Carolina Jags.
Okay.
So like suicide pool, like there's only 2 big spreads this week for week 1 of suicide. And one is the Thursday nighter, Cowboys Eagles. And then the other one, like I think fantasy, like if you're in a suicide pool this week, the Denver Broncos literally might have 60 or 70% of the league on them. So be careful on that one, everybody. Like I'm not thinking that Cam Ward is going to go in and win on the road against the league's expected number 1 defense, but it could happen. It could happen. So anyways, spread picks on Friday are going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Can't wait. Absolutely love it. So yeah, you have a good one tomorrow. I'll be back on Friday to set up this week 1 in the NFL and obviously recap the Thursday nighter.
Dallas +8.
It's 8 now?
Yeah. I thought it was 8.5 earlier. So I mean, maybe it'll be somewhere between 7.5 or 8, I think.
I think I might get on Dallas plus that number.
It's pretty big.
It's a big number. That's a big number. I mean, Prescott's healthy. CD, George Pickens is healthy. Javonte Williams is healthy for now. I know they don't have Parsons on D, but that's a big number to start the year. So, yeah. Well, we'll see. Have fun with that one tomorrow, buddy.
Divisional game? No doubt. All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Okay. Yep. See you later, Matt. There you go. That is
hot. The Martian is draft.
I'll let you know how it goes. There you go. That's right. All right. Let me just quickly give you the number we got on that Jays parlay that we put together, the Lock Shop Partner parlay. Blue Jays on the run line. Bieber 6+ strikeouts, Bichette 2+ total bases, plus 512 on the EST specials page. Jay's play of the day is up there already. I'll leave that for him to tell you about on the Reed Wilkins show today. And then we got Saquon Barkley anytime TD, Dak Prescott interception, plus 152, and some other specials there as well. Use the code EST Sports. Deposit 50, get a $50 free bet with our great partners over at Play Alberta, where they have improved odds on all North American leagues, including the NFL. this season. That's going to do it for the Lock Shop today. Thank you very much for joining, and best of luck if you're riding with us tonight. Oil Stream is coming up next year on Edmonton Sports Talk.